Hello folks, Everchanger here, and welcome back to more Pokemon Crystal. Last time, we obtained the Zephyr Badge, our first gym badge on our great journey through Johto. Look at it spin. Oh, I love it. We also obtained and promptly hatched an egg from Professor Elm's aid, and we also took it back to show him, and we got an Everstone in return. This time, we are finally moving out, onwards. But before we do, I should point out there is an item beyond this tree. Unfortunately, for obvious reasons, we cannot yet obtain it, so just keep it in mind for later. Anyway, we are going to be heading down this way now that we have completed the gym. I'm going to grab a Cure Berry right here, since it is indeed a new day since the last episode was recorded. And let's head on down here to Route 32, or Route 32. I'm probably going to change that pronunciation 1,000 times by the time this series is over. Anyway, this guy right here. You have some good Pokemon there. It must be from the training you gave them around Violet City. The training at the gym must have been especially helpful. As a souvenir of Violet City, take this. It increases the power of Grass-type moves. And we get the Miracle Seed, which is a hold item that does exactly what he says it does. Very cool. Your experiences in Violet City should be useful for your journey. Now, I'm going to be honest, the Miracle Seed is pretty much useless to me, because as you can see, none of the Pokemon on the team are really able to learn anything Grass-type, at least not anything meaningful. Anyway, right down here, as you can see, there are wild Pokemon on this route. Bellsprout is indeed one of them, but the big ones are the new ones that we can obtain. During the daytime, we can obtain Ekans, which will later evolve into Arbok, and during the night, we can obtain Wooper, which will eventually evolve into Quagsire, which is really cool. Also, I'm not sure if it's really worth fighting this thing, because Zubat does so little damage. It's kind of crazy, actually. Anyway, right over here. You know, I'm realizing I should probably have bought repels before coming down here, so I'm going to go do that really quick. Alright, here we are in the Pokemart, and I might as well explain how these work, if we can buy them. Oh my god, we can't buy them. Well, that's tragic. Looks like we just have to deal with the wild encounters. Ay ay ay. Alright, it looks like we're gonna have to go without repels, which is really, really disappointing. I'm pretty sure in the remake you are allowed to buy repels at this point, but for right now, we cannot. Anyway, there's another tree right here, and there is an item we can get on the other side, but again, since we have no means of disposing of the tree, we can't get it yet. Alright, back out into the field, we have a trainer right here. I haven't seen you around before. So you think you're pretty tough? Yeah, I think I am pretty tough. I mean, I'll be honest, I think I'm pretty tough. So, let us battle youngster Albert right here. And I think right now we're pretty decently established in the game right here, which I think is really, really nice. It's been go, go, go for us for the first few episodes here, just because there's a lot of stuff to go over. But I guess for right now, we've got a little bit of downtime, so I guess I might as well talk about the fact that there is actually a new Pokemon game coming out this year, and honestly, this Let's Play is probably going to go right up until around the time the new game comes out, which should be really interesting. For right now, they really haven't mentioned much of anything about it, though. So, if you guys are expecting me to discuss the game in any meaningful capacity, it's probably not going to happen yet, just because they really haven't talked about anything, really, other than the fact that it exists. So, this Let's Play should be a little interesting because it's going to be sort of like a journey to this new game. But for right now, the journey's just started, so there's really not a whole lot to chat about. Anyway, sending out a Zubat, which my own Zubat will really not do very well against. So I think we are going to switch over to Totodile. Also, I should mention, this is going to sound really, really ridiculous, and it's not going to make pretty much any sense until next episode. But I should point out that there is one hidden item on this route that you can only get if it is not Friday. That's gonna sound really crazy, but I promise, it's going to make sense next episode. I'm currently recording this episode on a Thursday, and hopefully if I will remember, I will get up early tomorrow and record the next episode so I can show the thing that happens on Friday. But yeah, anyone who saw the last episode can probably hazard a guess as to what it is I'm referring to. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Anyway, down goes Zubat, and Totodile gets a little closer to level 16, and we defeated youngster Albert. Very cool. Alright, let's keep on going this way. It looks like there's some hidden stuff over here. Let's grab it. It is a Repel. Now, for whatever reason, according to my list right here, this is a potion in gold and silver. Really not sure what's up with that. Anyway, right over here we have this lady who we are not required to talk to in any capacity. Loops right around over here, but let's talk to her. It's kind of funny. Yeah, and, you know, pardon? Battle? I'm on the phone. Oh, alright, but make it fast. I don't know why, I always just found that little detail really funny. You're not required to talk to this lady, but if you talk to her, you get a slightly amusing little bit of dialogue, which I think is really cool. Anyway, right here we have Nidoran, a female variety, which we cannot obtain yet, I don't think. Now, speaking of Pokemon that you cannot obtain, there is something I should mention about this route. In every single game other than Crystal, Route 32 is home to the almighty Pokemon Mareep, which is a really, really good early electric type Pokemon that's still quite solid as you go on through the game. Crystal, you cannot obtain this Pokemon. I mentioned this in episode 1, if you're playing Crystal, you're pretty much out of luck. You cannot obtain Mareep, which means if anyone's expecting me to actually use a Mareep on my team in this Let's Play, for obvious reasons, it's not happening. Now, I believe there is a hidden item in this grass somewhere. Alright, let's see here. Where could it possibly be hidden? There it is. There is a Super Potion right here in the grass. Super Potion is basically a better version of regular potion, and I think this is the first one we've obtained. It heals 50 HP in this game. I believe they changed it in Sun and Moon to 60 for some reason. I'm really not sure why. Anyway, the route forks right here into two paths, so I'm going to go down the right one, and then I'm going to go up the left one to fight the remaining trainers on that side of the route, because I really want to fight all the trainers, and going up both halves is the good way to do that. And wow, Zubat is right there on the cusp of a level up. Unfortunately, it has pretty much zero chance of taking out this Poliwag, so I'm just going to switch over to Totodile, who is also really, really close to a level up. Oh no. Well, I'm asleep now, which is a little annoying. Now, a couple of episodes I was talking about how they changed the number of turns Confusion works for in every generation. That was a mistake. It's really Sleep that they changed every generation. It's kind of crazy. I don't know why they changed Sleep just so darned much. I have a feeling it definitely has to do with competitive play. And it might also have something to do with Hypnosis specifically, because if my memory is correct, Hypnosis is actually pretty accurate. Phone! Sorry about that, but when the mother calls, the mother calls. Alright, let's take down this Poliwag right here. I apologize if that was a little bit of an awkward cut. I don't actually remember what I was talking about. I hope it wasn't anything too important. Anyway, Zubat gets level 10, and Totodile gets level 16. Double level up. Really, really nice. Anyway, another Poliwag coming out right here. Shouldn't be too big of a deal considering we were able to take out the last one without much trouble. Alright. So we're going to take a Bubble to the face, and I gotta say, Bubble has gotta be one of the worst moves in the entire game. It's basically a worse version of Water Gun, which is funny because a few episodes ago I called Water Gun the introductory water type move. But yeah, Bubble's just so terrible. Really, really bad. Anyway, we got another fisherman right here. Whoa, you made me lose that fish. I find it kind of shocking how it took them all the way up until, I want to say, either Black and White or X and Y to actually render the fishermen with their actual fishing poles out. if I'm not mistaken. I might be completely wrong about that. It's been a long time since I played through Generation 3 in particular. Anyway, we have a Magikarp right here. Now, Magikarp is pretty infamous just because it's garbage. It has the name, it has the word magic in its name, and in Japan it actually has the word king in its name. But yeah, Magikarp by itself is not very good. All it knows is Splash, which does absolutely nothing, all the way up until it learns, I want to say, Tackle at level either 15 or 20, and then it learns Flail at some point after that, and that's it. That's all it gets. So it's really pretty much useless until it evolves. Unfortunately, I had no faith in Leech Life being able to one-shot it, and considering we only have one power point of Leech Life left, I figured it wasn't worth trying, especially since, as you can see, Magikarp isn't even like those crazy enemies like, say, the Red Snake in Earthbound Beginnings, which is really weak and really rare, but when you kill it, it gives you a ton of experience. No. Magikarp has pitiful experience yield. It's kind of crazy, so yeah. Got a level 15 one right here, which is actually a pretty high level, and as you can see, it does no tackle, but it's so weak that I'm really just not concerned about fighting a level 15 Magikarp, even though I'm level 16. So yeah, bit of a jump level-wise for the AI, but it really just doesn't matter in this case. Anyway, down it goes. And guess what? He has another Magikarp. I don't know what it is, but there's always, always, always that trainer in Pokemon games that trains a whole ton of Magikarp and thinks he's hot stuff, but he's not. He's really not. So we're just going to take down all of his Magikarp, and there we go. Sploosh, he says. I'm getting Wind Waker flashbacks. Calm, collected, the essence of fishing in Pokemon is the same. Indeed. Alrighty. And believe it or not, we have another fisherman down here, so yeah, a lot of fishermen to take out. So if you're a Chikorita trainer, and you were having some hard times in Violet City, this is a good place for you. Because all of these water Pokemon will fall to Chikorita incredibly quickly. Also, if you're playing any game other than Crystal and you have a Mareep with you, you're going to have a much easier time. Also, it's worth noting, in the remake, you can actually access a patch of grass on this route prior to the gym leader. So you can actually catch a Mareep in the remake and use it against Falkner. You cannot do that in Generation 2. So yeah, really, really interesting little bit of trivia right there. Although in Crystal, I guess it's not that bad in Crystal because they throw you a bone and let you get Growlithe before the gym leader, which is really, really a good Pokemon in the Sprout Tower. So I guess players of Gold and Silver, which whoop-de-doo are the only games they're releasing on the eShop for the time being, you guys are out of luck. Also, speaking of luck, I'm taking a bit of a beating from this Goldeen of all things, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, also, we should point out, Peck is a flying type move. So if you have a Chikorita with you, you might want to watch out for that, because it can be scary. Speaking of scary, this confusion is driving me crazy. What is this? Come on, can we just not take damage from confusion, please? Stop being confused. Don't hit yourself. Yes. Thank you for hitting the opponent like you are supposed to, and thank you for getting a very well-timed critical, actually. Not very often you get a decent timing on a critical. Usually it's the AI that gets the good criticals. But yeah, I think that went decently well, and down goes Fisher Ralph. I tried to rush things, he says. Now, I want to say there's something... Oh. Hi, David. How are you? I found a useful item shopping, so I bought it with your money. Sorry, it's in your PC. You'll like it. That is an interesting mechanic in this game. As you get certain thresholds of money in your mom's bank account, I guess you could say, you will get certain items deposited into your PC. There's quite a few items actually to go over, so I'm actually going to pull up my page on this and talk about it, just because I wasn't expecting to get that call right then, so I will be right back. Alrighty, I've brought my page up, and I should point out that your mom will buy 10 items for you at certain triggers of money stored with her. This first one triggered with 900 Pokemon dollars stored with her, and she spent 600 of it to get us a Super Potion, which is currently in our PC. The next item will not trigger until we have 4,000 Pokemon dollars stored with her, so I don't think I'm going to discuss that right now, but I should also mention there are 5 specific items that will trigger if you hit precise money thresholds in the bank. Your mother will randomly purchase either a Super Potion for 600, an Antidote for 90, a Pokeball for 180, an Escape Rope for 450, or a Great Ball for 500, if you reach a savings threshold that is an exact multiple of 2,300 Pokemon dollars. And you cannot actually backtrack to get to these. You have to hit it exactly. So if you skip over 2,300, you cannot withdraw until you hit that exact amount. You have to deposit all the way up to exactly 4,600, and it will trigger, and so on and so forth. So you could go the entire game without this ever happening to you, because the threshold never lowers, it only goes up. Really, really random and interesting stuff. Anyway, I want to point out that Ralph right here will offer you his phone number. Don't young people fish anymore? I've seen rare Pokemon while I've been fishing. You young people like that, right? Want to trade phone numbers? I'll let you know if I see anything. I'm not going to get this guy's phone number because I don't personally want to find the Pokemon he spots, but there is an extremely rare Pokemon in this route that we do not have access to yet, and if you talk to him and get his phone number, it will make your life a little bit easier if you want to obtain it. Anyway, right here, I found some good Pokemon in the grass. I think they'll do it for me. Alrighty, buddy. Gonna battle this guy, and hopefully things will go pretty well, because we've actually taken a little bit of a beating coming down this little waterway right here. Alrighty. And we also have a Wooper right here. Now, I know this is a completely shamelessly stolen opinion, but honestly, I agree with it. I mean, look at Wooper. It's so happy, but it doesn't have arms. Like, I don't know how it can be so, just so darn happy without any arms, but I mean, more power to it. If you can maintain that level of positivity with less than the optimal amount of limbs, more power to you, buddy. Anyway, gonna keep scratching it because at the end of the day it is a Pokemon owned by an enemy trainer, so we are going to take it out. Hopefully quickly enough to get this alarm to stop. Yeah, I don't like the low HP alarm, and I'm really glad they changed it in future games because it's just, it gets grating after a while. Darn, I thought I could win. But you didn't, good sir. Anyway, I'm going to use another potion on Totodile because we're actually decently close to the end of this route, and I'd really like to make it all the way there without having to run back to heal. Anyway, right here, there is a Great Ball. Now, I believe this is our first instance of obtaining a Great Ball. A Great Ball has a 1.5 times better chance of catching a Pokemon than a Pokeball under the same circumstances. Very, very nice. At glance, it's intriguing. I guess I am just a very intriguing fella. Alright, here we have a camper named Roland, and I think this is the last trainer on the route. If it's not the last trainer, it's like the second to last trainer. We're pretty close. When I mentioned that the routes in Johto were pretty short, I meant it. I don't think there's a single route in this entire game that will take us more than one video to go through, so yeah, things should be getting pretty fast-paced. I know things have been going a little bit slow at the start here, just because I've had all of this information to go over, but now that we're more settled in, I think things should go a little bit faster. That's not to say it's not going to be comprehensive. I'd like to have this series be as comprehensive as I can reasonably make it with the tools available to me, and I do not plan on changing that in the future. Anyway, as you can see, this is where the path split right here, so we've actually made a full loop. So we're going to head back down this way. And right through this little bit of grass. Yes, we made it. Nice. And we have this dude who's always funny. How would you like to have this tasty, nutritious Slowpoke tail? For you right now, it's just 1 million Pokemon dollars. You'll want this. I mean, sure. I thought kids these days were loaded. This guy. Now, you can only carry 6 digits of money, so 1 million Pokemon dollars is actually exactly one more than you are actually allowed to hold. So, it's not possible to get that. Anyway, right here is another hidden Great Ball. You can only get this item if it is not a Friday, and I'm going to explain why that is next time. Anyway, I'm going to head into the Pokemon Center right here, and we want to talk to this guy. This is a great fishing spot. You saw people fishing? How about you? Would you like one of my rods? Sure, buddy. That's good to hear. I bet it is. Now you're an angler too, and we get an old rod. This is a key item that allows us to fish for Pokemon. Fishing is great. If there's water, be it in the sea or in a stream, try out your rod. Oh, there are so many jokes to be made right there. But yes, as you can see, there is a Pokemon Center on a route. Anyone who played Red, Blue, and Yellow, this is nothing new. This game also places Pokemon Centers in strategic spots, or just other healing points. Just in case you're at the end of your rope, there's always a Pokemon Center there for you. Anyway, wow, that was a voice crack. That was like the worst one we had in a while. I am going to withdraw this super potion that our mother bought for us. Alright, and now I'm going to show off something really nice about the old rod. If we come right on up this way, back over to the pier that we saw, we have water. If we go into our bag, you are of course allowed to go to your key items and just hit use, but if you hit sell, you will register an item. Then, if you hit select in the overworld, you'll just automatically use it, which is really awesome. Now, fishing has a chance of either not catching a Pokemon or catching a Pokemon, so we're going to try and see if we can catch one. Come on. There we go. That is the animation that plays when you catch a Pokemon, and unlike later games, it is not a quick time event. If you catch it, you catch it. No strategic pressing of the A button or anything. Anyway, Old Rod does not catch too terribly many kinds of Pokemon. I'm going to go over which ones you can get right now, but honestly, it's not very many. Here on Route 32, you can catch Tentacool, which will evolve into Tentacruel later on. You can catch Magikarp, as we see here, which will later evolve into Gyarados. If you backtrack to Dark Cave, I promise there's water in there at this point in our adventure. You can fish up Goldeen, which will evolve into Seeking. And if you backtrack all the way to Cherry Grove, that is actually some bit of ocean access right there. There's like a beach and everything. And you can catch Krabby, which will evolve into Kingler. As you can see, every single Pokemon that you catch with the Old Rod will always be precisely level 10 in this game, which is interesting. I can't escape from a Magikarp. Really? Come on, let me go. It's a Magikarp. There we go. Anyway, the interesting thing about this guy, if you get Fisher Ralph's phone number, he will call you and there is a swarm of a Pokemon known as Quillfish in the area. You can catch Quillfish here normally, but not with a far better fishing rod that we're not going to be getting for a long time. So, getting this guy's phone number and waiting for him to call you is the only way to obtain Quillfish at this point in the game, so definitely worth noting. Quillfish doesn't evolve or anything, it's really not all that special, but yeah, just thought I'd point it out. Anyway, I think with that, we are going to be ending things off here. So, this past episode of Pokemon Crystal, we journeyed all the way down here to the Pokemon Center on Route 32, and we talked about some more Pokemon that you can get, including with the new fishing mechanic. And next time on Pokemon Crystal, we're going to head even further south, and we're going to see what we can find down that way. So without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.